So I usually roll off all the treble,
Okay.
and one of my favorite sounding bassists is a bass player that people don't talk about much, is Bill Wyman. You can almost not hear him, but you feel him. And another thing I think is important is the sound of the bass. I tend to be someone who likes a round, bottomy bass sound.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my favorite amp, and I have an old tube SVT.
Mm-hmm.
I blew out all this. I mean, I have to buy new speakers for it. And I got to say, for New York clubs, I don't lug that thing around. It's too damn heavy. But that's what I ask for when people say, "What do you need for this tour?" But you know, and the sound, I'd say, to get a really good recorded bass sound is harder. They know what they're doing with drums, but engineers often slight the bass sound. Because the classic thing that started in the 70s with drums, when they'd spend 3 days in the studio getting the right drum sound, miking the drums, getting the snare right, getting the bass drum, and then bass, you come in and play for 30 seconds. We got it.
You're good.
You're good. You're good.
Exactly right. It's the truth, yeah.
And in fact, a lot of records have pretty lousy bass sounds.
Do, yeah.
And that's why I appreciate this, because I know the sound I can get. And I've had this bass for a long time.
Pick it up.
And as you
Tell
can
us the
see,
story.
when I
Tell
got
us
it,
the
when I
story.
got it, it had everything. It looked like it was brand new, even though it's not as old as I am, but it's almost as old as I am. It's 'cause they made, everybody should know what it is, because they only made it with this bronze anodized pick guard in 57 and 58. And there's a 58, and of course the thing what I really like about it, I like the sound, I also like the neck. It's just easy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just look towards me a little bit.
I've never had it refretted. I probably should, but I'm scared that someone would mess it up. And it's getting a little buzzy, and but as long as it works.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say, I feel like I own this bass in a special way, because it's come back to me twice. Once when it was stolen out of my Cambridge apartment, and I really freaked out. They stole this and an old Les Paul and a camera. I didn't care about the camera, and I cared most about this. And I called the Cambridge Police Department, and this detective said, there's a good chance it's, someplace I know. And then he gave me the address of this pawn shop, and he gave me a note. And he said, yeah, give this to the owner of the pawn shop. Go there now. This was like 4 hours after I came back to I don't know when the robbery occurred, but it was like, I went there quickly. And the guy said, he looked at it, and he said, and he went in the back, he pulled out my stuff. He said, give me $125, that's what I paid for it. And I suppose I could have then said, well, I'm going to get the police down, but I said, no, I don't want to take any chances. I had the cash in my pocket, and I got the stuff back. And then the other time, the stupidest thing, well, no, there's other stupid things I've done in my life, but I was getting on the Paris metro in, I can't even remember where, anyway, the 6th arrondissement, I think, and I had a bunch of stuff with me, like, bag with my tuner and I think a small amp. And I get through the doors, and I look back, and I left my bass sitting on the bench and the side of the subway platform. And there's nothing I could do. The doors closed. I was totally panicked. I went one stop, ran across, jumped on the next train going the other way, got back, and it was still there. So this, like Thor's hammer, it comes back.